Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and enjoying what's left of our summer. Today we're starting a new project. The project is inspired by Suzanne Hutchinson. I think it's Suzanne Hutchinson, I'm sorry Suzanne. Suzanne is from Non Stop Papercrafts. Suzanne did a lapbook folio recently. It's been on my to-do list for I don't know how long, but after seeing her do the amazing job she did, I was totally inspired to get started. Suzanne did the folio based on the old school detective kit by Vectoria designs. I will link that below. That is the same kit that I am using. These are just a few pages from the kit to give you a bit of an idea. But I am going to go with a Sherlock Holmes theme. So a slightly different edge to that. But yeah, I'm really excited. I did craft along with Suzanne. I did a folio following her tutorial, and this is kind of the final piece. The only thing I haven't fitted in here yet is the journal that I want to add to it. But yeah, it's a huge flippy outy thing, and I absolutely loved every moment, but there was loads and loads of learnings from it. So I'm going to start a new one. It's going to be a Sherlock Holmes theme, but the learnings I took from the previous one, I'm going to try and apply to this one. One of those learnings was that I used some fabric tape here. This is like an army type fabric tape, and it was dreadful. It was so sticky that it kind of buckled and stuck to itself. This is WebTech's military product, so I don't think it's meant for junk journaling, so I wouldn't use that again. What I am going to use instead is just normal fabric. I've got some canvas, a huge sheet of canvas that I've had hanging around for a long time, so I'm going to use that. One of the other learnings from the kit was I had different colour covers. Now, whilst that doesn't actually matter, I think to kind of complement this kit, I wanted to go with black covers. So I popped up the charity shop. We've got a local charity shop, and I picked up 2 books, and I have literally gutted them, and I have taken out the spines, and these are what I'm going to use to build the folio. The great thing about using the fabric is that you can actually make it wider than the tape. So this was what I got away with the tape. Bearing in mind I had to allow the tape to go onto the pieces of card as well. With this one I've made this quite a bit bigger, so I'll actually have that much playing room. I've cut the fabric out already, and literally all I did was I measured my pieces, measured to see how much space I wanted in between them, and then how much of the fabric I wanted to cover the actual cover, and I literally just marked it out and cut it out. So they're pretty close. I may have to make some trimming on the top, but hopefully they're close enough that it's not going to have an impact. So that is the project for, it's kind of like the end of August, September project. And I'm going to do a video of each stage. I'm going to take you with me. I'm not going to give too much away at the moment in terms of the content, because that will be, well, it'll ruin the surprise. So today is literally just introducing the project and also putting together our cover. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the large pieces. Now, the only thing with this is that a piece of A4 paper doesn't quite cover when you take the borders off, but we'll work around that. I'm not overly worried about it on this side. This side it might be a bit more of an issue because I don't have much of a border on the black, so I may even have to just ink around here. We'll see. But these are my pieces for the large journal or centerpiece. So I have cut these to 9 centimeters. So the idea was I would have a 5 centimeter room for growth and 2 centimeters either side to cover it with some glue and keep it attached firmly to our book. So what I'm going to do now quickly is I'm just going to lay these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give myself those 5 centimeters in the middle. And then I am going to attach these pieces here, but I'm actually going to glue them in place. Okay, so I've got some Fabri-Tac. I'm going to stick with Fabri-Tac just because it's one of the glues that I do really trust when I'm using fabric. So let's just get started. Okay. I'm going to give it a good coating of Fabri-Tac, but then I'm going to just gently rub it in with my fingers because I don't really want too much of it to seep through. I mean, you're not going to be able to help out with all of it, but I prefer not to have too much of it seeping through. So there we go. Okay, so this is going to go on here like so. I think I've just moved that, which I have. Start that again. Okay. So I'm gonna, sorry, I'm just getting it ultra straight and centered because otherwise it notices. Okay. There we go. And already I'm loving this more than the tape that I used. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly centered. It's just about putting this on. Now, if you wanted to, you could add some of that tape on the ends just to put it in together, but I don't really want to do that if I don't have to. And then I'm going to turn this over here, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. I don't need to worry too much about the measurements because we've already worked that out. So I'm just going to apply my glue. If you haven't seen Suzanne's video yet, then you seriously have to pop over. She did an incredible job with it. Really incredible job. Absolutely. So much so that I was completely hooked and had to binge watch the series she put together. So yeah, if you haven't seen that already, then I really would strongly recommend that you do make an effort to. Okay. Now I don't know how this is going to work because I haven't given myself a huge amount of, I possibly could have made the fabric a bit thicker again so that it gripped more, but as it stands at the moment, I'm hoping that this will work. Okay. Okay, so that'll give us loads of room to kind of grow this project, and I do think it'll be pretty stable as well. So I'm gonna kind of let that dry off, but I'm just gonna put the other two sides on now. Just a drop of water, my throat is a little bit dry. Okay, so with these sides here, what I'm going to do is, they're quite a bit smaller than what we're working with now. I think, I can't remember how much space, I think it was 4 centimetres. It was 5 in total. So I gave myself, I think, 3 and 1 and 1, I think. Did I? That doesn't sound particularly right, but let's have a look. So if I give myself 1 there, doesn't really matter what it does at the top. I don't want it to be right down the bottom, but I don't want it to be right at the top either. So I'm going to give myself a bit of space. If I let myself have 3 centimetres, okay, what I kind of mean by that is I want the top distance to be kind of a little bit more than the bottom. Or do I? Okay, so if I come up 1, 2, got 2 centimetres there, and I'm going to come over and give myself, so 2 centimetres up from this, and I'm going to give myself 2 centimetres in the middle. Again, so it's got a little bit of room to grow. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. So let's just get some more fabric. It's supposed to be easier coming out of this bottle, and in fairness, generally even it is. But today it really does not want to be nice. In fact, it wants to be down and out horrible. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that in again, and the same with this one. Okay, and we're going to pop this on here, like so. Make sure we've captured enough of both sides for it to grip. Make sure it's, I mean, in fairness, it's really only this first measurement you need to, or the first side you need to worry about, because once you then get onto the other side, it does become a lot easier. So I think we're okay with that. Just get rid of some of this excess glue. Okay, so let's fold this one in a minute. We'll do this side. Gosh. It's probably because I'm actually running out of the fabric tack. It's just so expensive to buy these days. I've tried other glues. Collal, you know, is great for certain jobs, but it's not one of my favourites. Econ 3-in-1 is quite good, but I'm not sure how much difference you save yourself from the fabric tack with that, to be honest. So, yeah. Make sure I give myself enough room again on either side so it allows it to really stick. And I'm just easing the centre down so that it'll let you kind of fold comfortably, but I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to come off there until it's dried. Okay, so that is that one, and then we're going to bring this one over here. Now we went 2 centimetres up, didn't we? So with this one we're going to be 2 centimetres up and roughly 2 centimetres in. I don't know what the measurements are for inches, sorry, but you can Google the conversion quite easily. Okay. I mean, luckily you can see through this quite well, and so see that you're giving yourself enough space either side. I used to cover my journals in the early days with this, and in fairness, it's great stuff. Okay, so let's just pop this over here while we turn this. Oops. Nope, that's not what we wanted to do. Yes, it was. But we wanted this out here. Like that. So let's just put that on there, make sure that that's pretty straight. Which I think it is. Oops. It's coming out a bit better now. Yeah, the previous one I did a video on it, but I don't know yet whether I'm gonna release it. I haven't really. Yeah, it's it's kind of putting yourself out there a bit, isn't it, when you're just learning something? But I suppose other people are happy to kind of learn from your mistakes, you know. It was amazing watching Suzanne with hers, and it was her first lap book. Yeah, I absolutely, like I said, I adored it. I was besotted. I binge watched the whole thing, and I binge watched the whole thing, and yeah, it was amazing. So I hope with this one I'm going to do her justice. Okay, what I'm going to do now, because this, I'm just going to make sure everything is glued down enough, and then we're going to leave this to dry overnight, so it's well and truly set. Okay. Okay. It's always the corners, isn't it? Always the corners. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so the layout we'll do in different sections, and the idea is that I'm going to split this into a couple of different sections by adding to the insides. So we're going to have, when it closes, that is what it's going to look like. It's quite big actually, this one. It probably won't be quite as wide as that, probably more like that, but you can see we've given ourselves loads of room to grow, both on the main piece and these little pieces. So I'm okay with that. So we'll have a couple of different, luckily, I'm hoping that the glue will stop this fraying too much. Yeah, so yes, I am really excited about that. And as I said, the kit I'm using is browns and creams. So we're going to start off, and this front section here is going to be a bit of a Sherlock Holmes start. And on the back, I'm thinking that we will have the conclusion. So the person who is the murderer. We're going to have a section over here, which is going to be on the victims and the evidence and the investigation. And then on this side, we're going to have the suspects. We're going to have probably some conclusion pieces. I'm going to add a notebook to one of these sections, and I will also be putting a pretty decent sized journal in place as well. So yeah, really excited to be starting this project, and I hope you're going to enjoy coming along for the ride. But for today, that is it. Just an introduction and just putting our binder together. As I said, I'm going to let everything set, and then in the next episode we will start putting it back together. Okay, so I will catch you in the next video. Until then, as always, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.